What's going on, guys? I just watched a video of a person that I've actually subbed to based on the recommendation of Hiberniason. I hadn't yet to watch any of his videos. I only watched a brief portion of one. Kind of liked what I heard, although I'm limited to time. In fact, I have to get back to studying very shortly. But I wanted to address this while it's fresh in my mind. And he was kind of jumping into the conversation with Hiberniason and I's morality of scavenging videos. Now I'm going to post the video links that he put on his video and the link to his video, so if you want to take the time and go through them, by all means. Now, he made an interesting observation and something that I actually commented on, and it made me want to just reaffirm my thought process on this. Now, this is why holding steadfast, see, I look at things from a biblical worldview, and some people may frown on that, but that's me. I'm not going to make apologies for what I believe, and I look into things pretty deeply and find quite a bit of evidence to what I believe. And I'm not going to create this environment to try to go back and forth with anybody either, for those of you who are new to my channel. Basically, I'm more of I kind of believe in the Judeo-Christian view, and I'm kind of more along the lines of evangelistic, kind of non-denominational. That's where I fall in. I believe in quite a bit of fundamentalism in my beliefs, and I believe you compare scripture to scripture to come to answers. I believe the Bible is our kind of guidebook to life. And Hiberniason, I know, is a staunch Roman Catholic, and he usually uses the Catechism, which I don't know much on. I'm sure I'll learn in my studies in the near future, because I'll be going to school for biblical theology. But all that being said, what I wanted to try to... GeneralSLee mentioned in his video that morality is going to change, and in that sense, your morality will probably change based on your environment. And that's why I try to hold very steadfast to my beliefs and how I live my life now, and I have become a lot more staunchly observant to what those guidelines I have to live by based on my beliefs, taking it a lot more seriously too based on certain developments in my life. By holding steadfast to those beliefs is how you can maintain order within the sense of a community and maintain the integrity of morality that you once knew before the WROL situation has happened. Now, he's absolutely right. The morals will change, and it's going to be up to the individual. And I know you, General, like to reference The Walking Dead, and you see in that show, which I thought was very interesting. I kind of like the psychological aspect of it and the writing. I think it's quite fascinating, in fact. The whole zombie thing, I'm like, I could care less. But the Herschel Green character is the moral compass of the group. And that is a great example of how your morals have to adjust based on situation. But that's not necessarily true in each individual's sake. Because of my advocacy and work with Jewish people, and I'm not Jewish, but because of that work, a lot of the persecutions that they suffered, part of the reason why Israel had been able to basically birth out of the ashes was because of the common ground of their religious beliefs. That they all spoke Hebrew, so hence making Hebrew the general or the spoken language of Israel. It made the ability of different cultures to coalesce a lot easier, to congeal better. And and part of what they used to do, and which used to cause them to be singled out for persecution, is they stuck to themselves or stuck to their groups to maintain their belief system, to maintain the rigid nature of their morality and their customs. And, you know, you had different customs based on which Jewish people were in what area. But the one thing that made it stronger, made them hold on to those values much more steadfast, was the persecution they would endure. Now, with the studies that I've gone through, and one of the things that I've studied greatly just based on my advocacy work, it's led me in this direction, but it also coincides with my preparedness way of thought, is studying on the effects and what's happened in the Holocaust. And I've talked to numerous Holocaust survivors, ones that were in Dachau, to ones that have survived Auschwitz, to the very person that will be on the WROL CMNJ site, where I'll be posting her experience as an 11-year-old surviving in the forest with the Belsky Brigade in a real, true bug-out situation survival that happened. True story. She even talked to me, and hopefully when I get a chance to go to her house, she's even talked to me about how she almost died, because in the confines of their little community, there were some people that were completely, very self-motivated. She got very sick because she's in the forest with the same clothes she had, didn't really have any winter clothes, and somebody actually gave her material, like leather or some kind of material to make clothes out of, because the doctor said that if she doesn't keep warm, that she might get even sicker and might actually die. Well, she got the material, so here you have somebody that sees her plight and gives her something without even in the midst of them in a scenario where they're all surviving, and just gives away this material in order to see her get better. Well, when they brought that material to the tailor in the area, because everybody had different talents, obviously, because they came from all walks of life, that ended up in this camp, in the forest. And the tailor only would put this together in a garment for her if the parents gave some of the family's rations to him. So there's an example of someone who's making opportunity and kind of foregoing any morality for the sake of survival. But yet you had the other person who was actually giving the garments away. You also see that in different points of Auschwitz, where I heard stories of adults literally taking food from children. And there's a great gap of morality right there. You are going to steal food for your own sake to forego the survivability of this said child that you just took the food from. It's based on an individual choice. I believe it's based on the strength and practice of that person in his everyday life now while in the rule of law. I believe that is what helps govern how you're going to react regardless how heinous the situation is. And these are perfect examples. Here are these people in really, we're talking surviving, real hunger. Even worse case in the Auschwitz example I gave you. And you had people who would steal, and you had people that would help. Collectively, I'm going to stay with the people that are keeping their morality in the sense to which I understand it based on my biblical sense and what I follow in my Christian walk. And that's how I choose the people whom I get close to in prepping community. You know, I will pull closer to somebody that's more community-based thinking than someone who's all about setting up tactical perimeters and making sure keeping people out type of deal. I mean, there's of course, I'm not frowning on that, mind you. I'm just saying that my choices of who I end up being around are the people that have a strong moral compass now. And Hiberniason is a great example. I believe he has a very staunch moral compass. I believe that most of the decisions I think he would make, would be very heavily laden with the thought on how this will be based on the moral constructs of the Bible. And he's, I'm sure, executed this in his leadership roles of his unit. And he's constantly showing examples of that in a lot of the things he talks about, and unashamedly so. So I believe it's going to be based on the individual. And you're right, some people may sway, but I believe the ones that stick steadfast to their belief system now, that it's not just someone like, and I'm talking on the Christian sense, it's not like someone who's like a creaster who barely has scratched the surface on their very beliefs and probably don't even know how to open up Scripture, yet they'll show up at church for Christmas and Easter. I'm not talking about those folks, and those are the people that most likely their morals will shift. Their morals will be malleable. I believe the people who truly take serious their walk in my belief system are going to stick to that as much and as readily possible as they can. Of course, you have that situation where, thou shalt not kill, but in this scenario, that's probably not going to be completely unavoidable. Those are the different moral decisions that you're going to have to make in those situations, or the scavenging. I know you don't like saying scavenging, but for the better understanding, and I know it has negative connotations, but that's really what it is. You are scrounging. Maybe scrounging would be a better word. So I just want to throw that out there. Hopefully this adds a little bit to the conversation. And those of you who don't believe in the things that I've discussed, I'm not trying to. I don't ever try to push things on anybody. But on my channel, I will discuss this on pretty much somewhat regular basis. I'm not going on preaching on here, but I'm definitely, this is me. This is what I'm about. So those of you who are new, welcome. And those of you who want to jump ship, see ya. It's not been, I've always had a yo-yo effect with my subs, as I've always said, and I have my core group my Mojo diehards it's really what I'm making these videos for, and I will continue to do so for them. And it's not for everybody. But I hope this helps, like I said, and I liked your commentary, General. I wish I had more time to watch more of your videos, but I'm so swamped with studying and my own work. It's going to be really hard. I barely have time to keep up with Hibernia and all the other videos I have. But I definitely will go through your Walking Dead series, because I'd be very interested to hear your take on that, since I watched that show more for the analysis of the psychological writing in the scripts, even though sometimes, like last season, went off a little bit off the beaten track with the mayor or whatever, the guy in that town. I thought that was, I don't know. But you gotta like add that element of I don't know. Anyway, I digress. Another 15-minute video. Sorry. Do your best, like God do the rest. I can't even get that out because I'm starting to lose it. Take care, guys.